Senator Reynolds.
Thank you very much, Acting Deputy President. I too rise to speak on this urgency motions moved by the Greens. And I agree it is a matter of urgency, but the urgency has just been demonstrated very clearly by Senator Cox, because it is the Greens that are the danger to Australia's economy and to Australia's, but also the world's energy security. So let's just strip away all of the hyperbole and the rhetoric, and let's have a look at the facts about gas, about the North West Shelf and the company that they continue to demonise and encourage illegal acts against. So let's have a look at the facts. So it is a fact that the Greens' energy policies are reckless, they're anti-West Australian and they are anti-Australia's interests. They are hurting the economy, they're destroying the livelihoods of thousands of Australians, of hard-working Australians, and in particular in our own home state of Western Australia. And this demonising, with the help of their environmental defender officers, which the cat has well and truly been belled on your involvement and the duplicity of your involvement with those organisations. So let's have a look at some of the facts. Natural gas is a critical part of the energy mix.
Senator Reynolds, if you could resume your seat.
Senator Reynolds to withdraw that comment in relation to her insinuation of my involvement
Senator Cox, I was listening, and I believe it was a reference to the Greens as a party, not to individuals. Senator Reynolds, you may resume.
Thank you, Acting Deputy President. So natural gas is a fact. It is a critical part of our energy mix. It is powering manufacturing, providing affordable and reliable electricity for Australians and people across the globe. And it is stabilising the energy grid alongside intermittent renewable sources. And that is a fact. We need gas. As we transition away from coal, we are going to need gas for many decades to come. And that is a fact. Now, natural gas also supports food security globally, and it plays a pivotal role in producing fertilisers such as ammonia and urea, which sustain Australians, but it also provides food security for millions, in fact billions of people globally. Now, the Coalition supports natural gas development in Australia to strengthen domestic energy security and also meeting the global LNG demand, which is going to double by 2040. So the fact is, with or without Australian gas, it is going to double. And that comes to the issue of, if they don't get it from Australia, which produces the cleanest gas in the world, where else will they go? Now, Woodside is proudly a homegrown Australian company, now for many decades headquartered in Perth. Now, the anti-gas rhetoric from the Greens doesn't reduce global demand for gas, but it does, like with coal and like now with nickel, it sends the demand elsewhere to countries that do not produce with the same environmental standards, the same human rights standards, the same sustainability standards, the same anti-slavery standards as we do. So the Greens, in advocating this again, and what you do with the EDOs and the other organisations whose funds greenwash around the economy and out of sight of the Electoral Commission, it is you who are putting this country at risk. Now, some of the facts. The North West Shelf has produced over 6,300 LNG cargoes since 1989, which supports regional energy security. This extension will allow existing gas resources to be developed without the need for constructing new processing facilities. And that is not something the Greens will ever admit to you. No more new facilities. In 2023 alone, the North West Shelf contributed $1.7 billion to the Australian economy, including over $1 billion spent in West Australian businesses, supporting nearly 1,000 jobs. Now, since 1984, the North West Shelf itself has contributed $40 billion in federal royalties and excises, delivering lasting benefits to the Australian and to the West Australian communities. It is critically important to our nation's security. Now, the North West Shelf project has also underpinned significant regional development, which has benefited the Pilbara in particular. Now, a just transition is necessary, and what those opposite propose will never bring a just energy transition, because if they don't buy their gas and energy from here, they will go to other nations that have appalling human rights records. So Woodside's Browse project, if approved, will be subject to the most rigorous regulatory and environmental assessments in the world, and compliance is ensured like no other country. So I'm proud to—